7 neŋŋamba lwaki tebasooka kubuuza nti omuntu alina emyaka emeka. Nze mukulu we nina emyaka 71 kati ye naafa ng'alina emyaka 75. Is that logic? Kakati nene nebaza Katonda nti ebbanga lyamaze ku nsi nga tannaziikibwa awezezza emyaka 7 kubanga yazaalibwa 25 Oktoba tubadde tulunamuziika. Kati era nze ŋŋamba nti afudde alina emyaka emeka 7 nze 71. Ab'amawulire bwe mubanga muwandiika ebintu ebituufu, ebirala bitulumya omwoyo. Omulabirizi agambye nti waliwo bakubuuza n'ogamba kino nkyogere, wano sijja kukola ki kukyogera. Bw'oba tokimanyi toyogera. Sirika asirise teyejjusa ekyo bwenkimanyi. Aggrey twakula wamu nga tuli 3, Sserunkuuma, Rachel ne Aggrey. Sserunkuuma ne bamutwala Nakifuma, naye ffe ne tusigala ne tusomera e Nabalanga nga tuwandiika mu ttaka nga Reverand Lukwago yatusomesa. Olwo yali musomesa naye ffe yatusomesa. Omulabirizi agambye nti Mukama yali amuwadde amagezi. Ddala kituufu yamuwa amagezi ag'enjawulo. Omwana oyo bwe yaba mu nasale P1 ne bagimubuusa. Bw'atuuka mu siniya teyakola esifu era naye ne bakola ki? Ne bagimubuusa. Ndowooza nga n'abasomesa balaba alina amagezi mangi. Ekyo nakyo nekyebalira Katonda. Kubanga ng'olaba kalina amagezi mangi ndowooza nga n'abasomesa bagamba naye kino ekibiina kati tumuggyeko tumutwale ku kirala ate n'akola ki bulungi. Ne nebaza Katonda Aggrey oyo omulabizi bakutteko ne batakutte naye yatandika wano kompyuta wano mu Uganda. Lwako tebamwongerako naye yeyaleeta kompyuta era yagaba kompyuta mu bitongole ebyenjawulo mu masomero mu Bwakabaka bwa Buganda wanga atagaba 2 agaba 3 kale yabireeta naye lwakubafa abantu twerabira nti omuntu talina kyeyakoze naye ng'alina bingi byeyakola era neneebaza Katonda. Nagira neneebaza Katonda kineebaza gavumenti y'Australia kubanga badde mutuuze naye ne batumuwa neyawano nekkiriza gavumenti zombi nzeebaza zeebale nnyo okutuleetera omuntu waffe. N'ekirala kye neebaza kubanga nanimise muwala wange Kiyinji nkwebaza kubanga olabiridde muganda wange omulabiridde. Nze mbadde mukwano gwe ng'omuntu naye ng'agenda n'akuweereza bu vidiyo nga basanyuka nga bazina mu kiseera kino eky'obukadde omuntu obeera ng'oli musanyufu. Neebaza Katonda nti webale maama n'abaana mwebale kwagala ddadi mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala kubanga ne bw'olaba omulambo gwe yafudde peacefully. Nze nabagambye nti omwami wange yafa naye yafa aseka naye noono namulabye ne dokita afudde bulungi nga yeebase bulungi. Omanyi bwe tuba tulwanira mu kufa omulambo gulabika basika amaaso bakola kine bw'oba ofudde peacefully oba weebase bulungi. Noono yeebasenga mukoddomi we yeebaka bulungi noono yeebase bulungi. Maama weebale kulabirira mwannyinaze. Yali alina ennaku naye lumu yaŋŋamba nti yafuna malayika. Maama oli malayika. Webale ogumiikiriza obufumbo si bwangu. Nze nafumba emyaka 43, bw'ofumbye mitono. Naye si bwangu. Naye abadde musanyufu eri ggwe era obadde mukwano gwe n'abaana. Nenebaza Katonda kuba oli mwana muto naye omuntu okunyumyako ate eri mulamu wo. Omanyi abalamu tuli bazibu. Tetuli bangu, tuli bazibu. Naye yaŋŋamba nti yafuna ki? Malayika. Kyera kyavudde ndowooza akuyitanga kabiike. Bino byonna mbyogera nti Kiyinji abadde mukwano gwange ng'omuntu, muganda wange naye abadde mukwano gwange ng'omuntu. Nenebaza Katonda kubanga omulabiridde bulungi. Nina bingi ebyokwogera naye kamala okuwa ow'ekitiibwa owa Buganda. Ssebo omanyi nze mukama wo naye ate oli wa kitiibwa. Naye nze mukama wo gankuwe ssebo ow'ekitiibwa owa Kabaka obeereko.
Era oli mukama wange awaka baatugambanga nti mukulu w'abaki mukama wawo. Ekyo kyaliwo awaka eŋŋombe. Omulabirizi w'ekitiibwa n'owakiyimba akungaala mwenna mwebale okujja okubeera wannaffe. Nziramu okwebaza mwenna abazze n'abatulabiridde n'abatukudde amasimu. Ffenna twasaasaana ne tubeera mu bifo eby'enjawulo. Naye buli gye tubadde abantu batutuukiridde ne batukyalira ne batusaasira. Nze gye mbeera e Sweden, mwannyinaze abeera e Bungereza. Wano mu Uganda tulina amaka agali Manyangwa, tulinawo wano e Mengo, tulinawo abali Kisaasa. Kugamba wonna wabadde wakumirwawo ennyimbe ne mu kyalo nga tetukuŋŋaanidde mu kifo kimu. Naye yonna gye tubadde abantu bazze ne batubuuzaako. Njagala okuddamu okwongera okwebaza omukyala waffe Maimuna. Ebbanga lyabadde ne mukulu wange muto woono, ebbanga lineesembiiryo. Tulinawo wano nga ffe abooluganda abasigadde ku nsi kuno, ffenna we tuli olunaku lwaleero, nakyo njagala tukyebalize Mukama. Nze bannyanjudde naye tebamwanjudde nga sinagenda mu maaso yoyo muto wange Fediruka Bwekisirikko, abasinga bamumanyi, ndowooza n'Owekitiibwa n'Owekiyimba akyomulaba buli lunaku, naye sirowooza nti yali ategeddeko nti muto wange anyenyiza omutwe. Dr. Kiyinji atulekedde abaana 8, olwaleero tulinawo abaana 4, abalala tebasobodde. Sembi okwogerako n'omuwala omukulu ddala, ndowooza mbadde sinakutuuka wano. Nebanga tebasobodde naye nabo njagala mubateeke mu ssaala zammwe. Ebyokwogera ku Kiyinji bingi, maadamu nga bwe tumuyita abyogedde n'abalala byogedde n'amagezi ga dokita amayitirivu. Kwegamba mwabali wano olwaliro mufunye obutabo obwo obubali mu maaso gammwe okuli peegi namba 2. Kwegamba abatali wano bali ku mutimbagano, simanyi oba gukyaliko, naye nga tuzze okujaguza n'okwebaza Katonda olw'obulamu bwa Dr. Kiyinji. Ate mu kubijaguza ogwo osanga wabeerewo n'abalala abasobola okulaba kyakoze, nabo n'abawa ekyokulabirako. Kati n'olw'ensonga eyo njagala kukyusaamu ku lulimi n'abali ebunaayira, kuba ndowooza bangi nnyo abali ebunaayira abasinga wano. Dokita gwe wadde abamu basinza naye ate nga oluusi tebamumanyi bulungi nga ye. So I'm switching to English just for the wider community. Dr.Kiyinji was our brother, but he went beyond our family and became a world man and national man who is beyond Namulonge Seta. People have talked about his education, and when one adds up, you see that you would think that he did not complete his education. As my elder sister said, she didn't do P1, so he skipped that one. When he came to King's College Budo, he skipped S4 and he did his O-levels in S3. During that time in the 70s, not like these days, I don't know whether the modern society or the young generation here are more clever than we are, or those who were earlier were cleverer. But during those days, to get 5 distinctions was great. I'm talking about 5. He did his O-level in S3, and he got 8 of them. And I think that year, there were about 3 of them in the whole country. I remember, I think one is Patrick Mangeni, whom I've met before, and Inglia, and there were only 3 in the country. Then he joined Makerere University, which he finished in 1977. So when you look at the first page and look at his, what we have written about his names here, Dr. Kiyinji. The titles are not there, but okay, here is titles. But he has titles which are under his name, which I see now they have been skipped in this one. He begins with MB, CHB. Many of you do not know what it is, but that is his Bachelor of Medicine and the Bachelor of Surgery. That's his initial degree. Then when you look at his name, under his name, you find FASA, FABI, MD, FBAI. Then you find FRSCP, and so on. What are all these initials or things you see? Those are his specialties he has done. Those are the way he has been training. And it's sad, this one, I didn't actually realize that they were not put here under his name. So when you look at under his name, you see this is what he has achieved as a professional person, which means Uganda has missed something which is very, very rare. When he left Uganda in 1981, it was not his wish, but the conditions. But as usual, conditions can bring something good. If he had stayed in Uganda, I very much doubt he could have got as far as he has got. Because for some of you, if you have been in class and you are good, I'm talking about being good. It can be overall, but it can be in one subject. It is so boring. I'm sorry if there are pictures here. It's so boring when you have understood everything the teacher has taught, and you have a class of 20 who have not understood, and it is taking a lot of time to explain. You want to move as forward as fast as you can. So for such people, you need this speed to go on and go on and go on. And for Aggrey, leaving Uganda, despite that he didn't want it, coming to Australia offered him this thing so that he can pursue more things with more specialties. That is, which you could not achieve in Uganda. That I also can say from my own experience. People like Aggrey, they are sometimes invited as guest speakers for one reason or another. During my working life, working for Siemens, which is also a medical company, been working for mainly with medical equipment, we normally, or we use sometimes inviting experts for different types of specialties, but concerning medical part. Our company invited him in the 90s, that is our Department of Research and Development, working with X-ray machines. And he was asked to talk about and to fantasize, he as a doctor, what he would like X-ray machines and so on, what they should do, and how they should like, and his experience with them. So when companies like that invite you, they pay you, at the same time they give you the subject, you present your paper and your ideas. When you finish talking, you hand it over. That is, if there was no patent attached. And these companies use this information, they call us, all the engineers, to go through again. Can this be implemented or not? Can we use it here or not? If we find there is something new, yes, it will be put into our research and development for our new products. So for him, he can treat, but the engineers will build and we create stuff they use. So yes, he has contributed. This is something Uganda has missed, and maybe you have missed for a very long time, because such talents here, actually, they are not paid, and more or less, they are worthless. So Uganda has missed, the world has missed a lot through such a person like Dr. Kiyinji. Secondly, this brother, we have many names, which sometimes we use at home or wherever we meet. He had something extra, as they say. There is a way he looks at things. He sees them before you see them. It is funny, but that's how it looks like in such people. It's difficult to understand them, because for you, when you are working here, he has seen something just further there. You only get there afterward. You say, oh, this is what he meant. He has loved this country, and he had a lot of dreams he can share with anyone here in this country. When he came in the 90s, introducing the computers, that is what he's known about. I don't think there was any other company or any other person had visions of making Uganda actually a more modern digital world, apart from him, at least here. In the Western world, yes, it was still not at that level. And I think if all these things never happened, he could have achieved single-handedly with his company to digitize Uganda. That was his dream. He partly achieved it, but everything, well, as you see, broke down. So his legacy, it might not be written down, but computerization and internet, I think he's the pioneer. I don't know if anyone can dispute that. Had he continued, actually, Uganda as a nation, yes, we might have other things, but when you give, now the people who use internet and so on, they use TikTok and what else? Whatever. For him, it was not the TikTok and such, but actual learning the computer, the actual programming, and the actual building. And that is the basic which should have helped this country to get further, which he never achieved. The other thing you were starting was the Kampala Art Institute. That one never materialized. but you have to understand that is what is prior to the Uganda Heart Institute, which also almost originated from his starting up the Kampala Heart Institute and then the building up of the Uganda Heart Institute now. So he also wanted to come back here to share his knowledge, to treat these people, give them the best the world can give. Then we come to other things, which somebody has talked about the church. Our brother, our bishop has talked about the heart, if he has been going back to to review. Yes, I cannot answer that now, but while he was here, at least he has always loved the church. Everyone knows about that. That has been his life. And in Buziga, where he settled in the 80s, he helped a lot with the Katuso Church. He built them the first piano. In Kampala, there are not so many. So if you go to Katuso Church, you find Dr.Kiyinji Aggrey there. You will find it there. And he supported them in other things, like recording their music. And I'm told by Mai, and I also tell the bishop, that every day during his prayers, his favorite song is of Katuso Choir. That is the only one he was mainly using for his prayers. So I'm sure he has been going for his heart check. So then also to come to here in Namirembe, we have the Christian CWF. That one, our mother was chairman for a very long time. And then, of course, when the mother involved, the brother gets involved. But Doctor got more involved than most of us. And yes, it is Christian, but his support, it is based on his Christianity and his upbringing. So then we come to Buganda Kingdom. That one we can't mention because I think what he did for Buganda Kingdom is quite a lot. So that also we cannot mention, but he has done quite a lot. He loved his kingdom. When you go to our clan, Ndiga, what was his name? The Ndiga, the Nchima clan. He told us that is our grandmother, but he loved his Ndiga clan a lot. And during the times when he was here, when he was able to be here, he was attending whenever possible our clan meetings. And from our clan, we have our Jaja Bossa there. Jaja Bossa, please stand up. In English, I don't know how to put it, but in our clan, omukulu w'olujja lwaffe Jaja Bossa. So they are always with us. When we have to other funding and sponsorship, he was not only supporting schools, but even other farms. There was a company which was started, I'm told it is Informat, it collapsed. This was starting online and publishing, I think, something like that. And he donated a lot of money and computers for it to start. Not because it was his, but he was seeing the future, which Ugandans are just seeing now. And he failed. That company failed, yes, but he put in a lot of effort so that it can get off and get on the internet. When it comes to internet advertising of jobs, I think the Hayes was the first one to have this website for online job advertising. So to wind up all this, I'll turn to parents and I'll turn to the younger generation. For the parents, encourage your children. If today the child runs 10 meters in tomorrow, ask the child to do more. And the other day, and the other day. Encourage them to go further. The problem is, as a parent, time comes when you can't catch up because the children leave you, both mentally and physically. So you should turn to the people who are superior, seek help people who are superior. That's the only way to bring up children. We had, I think for us, we have had that chance, first of all, to have education, all of us. People are talking about nursery schools now, but my madam here, my sister, she went to a nursery school in the early 50s. And this nursery school was not here in the Kampala Road, but in Namalanga, where Namalanga, out of Namalanga, that is also near Namulonge, yeah? That's where there was this nursery school. Yeah. So we got that chance. The other thing we usually talk when we say for child development, look around and learn. Our parents, they made this effort. We live in Namulonge, and I usually tell other people I meet that we went to Europe before we actually got passports. Because the moment you entered Namulonge Research Station, then you were in Europe at that time. Some of you, many of you, I don't think you have ever been there, except for us privileged people from Namulonge. When you enter the gate, that is Europe within, inside. You look at it. Our parents made friends with a lot of people in research station, and we learned these things at home. There were many Europeans, and we had them at home to visit us, to learn from them, and some of these ideas. So we got some books. Some of them were just pictorial, but I think we learned a lot. And when I left Uganda myself, they gave me the address to go and visit their friends in Cambridge, where I went. And I got a book of engineering for my further studies. But these are friends of my parents who were in Namulonge Research Station. So expose to get this chance. This legacy of Dr. Kiyinji is what I think should be carried forward so that we encourage others. I know they talk a lot of other things, but some of them are difficult to quantify, but he has contributed a lot. So as I wind up, I say our family, we have lost a lovely brother, we have lost a genius brother, we have lost a friend. Then of course I turn to the children and the wife. That loss is not measurable because he loved his family. He has loved his children. One can say what has happened there, what has happened there, but as far as his children are concerned, he wanted the best. Whatever, if it's money to buy, then it should be bought. That is what he always has wanted for the best. He loved our parents. Unfortunately, our father was killed in the war, so we had only the mother after the war. But he did a lot for Mom. He loved him. He loved her a lot. When we come to our clan, I think the loss the Diga clan has done is a big one, and it cannot be underestimated. When we come to Buganda, yes, Buganda has lost a great pillar. And they would say, Sabasajja Twakumye Bubi, because maybe if we didn't, something like that shouldn't have happened. And when we come to the nation, Uganda as such. I don't know. The loss, that's what I want to explain with this topic. His vision for this country. You can talk of, sometimes people talk about all the politics, but the vision you have, like making this country more digital, already in the 1990s. That's what we are talking about now. Had he continued, I think now Uganda would be the actual program-making nation in the world, because you don't need anything else. And mind you, he was a very good person in computers, which he was never taught in school, but a self-learned person. We have people from the Hazy who worked, I've seen here and I'm very happy for them. I wish they can demonstrate. Some of them were coming with education in IT, but he was much, much better than any of them. And that is how he was. He gets things done. He learns things by himself very quickly. And the whole world and the medical world were blessed a great man.
Webale nnyo ow'ekitiibwa. Ow'ekitiibwa ababuulidde anti babeera bweru n'ababuulira oluzungu. Ndowooza mwenna mulutegedde. Tumukubireko mu ngalo ayogedde ebintu bingi. Kubanga atunnyonnyodde FB ki, abamu bye